That's right, y'all. Y'all see it, the Delta 2 by Joyetech. This is going to be a first in a little series I'm going to put together of the new, I ain't going to say new, some of them are new, some of them aren't, of all the old subohm takes out there. There's a bunch of them out. I've got quite a few of them. I'm going to start out with this Delta 2 by Joyetech since I love this one so much. It's overall together, it's my favorite. I'm not going to go completely over it in complete detail because there's a whole lot of videos out there on it, but I am going to go over some things that are on some of the many other videos out there, fussing and complaining about it, what's things they don't like about it, and this and that. And I'm just going to go over it with you and say why I don't think that's that big of a deal, and all the other stuff makes up for it. First and foremost, it's a pretty good looking device, man. Nice and sleek looking. Kind of regal looking in a sense. Let's take this off. This got it sitting on this Sigilli 150 right here. So that's it. You see it, Delta 2 by Joyetech. It's got real nice Cyclops. It turns real easy. See how it's shutting off, and it's on both sides. Of all the subohm tanks I've tried so far, this one is by far the most airflow. I mean, not just by a little bit, by far. Those of you that like dripping and looking for like a dripping replacement while you're driving, this is it. Great flavor, immense airflow. One of the reasons the airflow is so strong, let me show you a little something. You see that? The inner tube or inner shaft inside this tank is pretty much non-existent. That hole is that big all the way down to the bottom of that coil. You can see the bottom of the coil in there as I'm wiggling this thing around. Lots of airflow. Comes with a nice little drip tip. Nice, pretty decent size bore drip tip. Delrin insulator. Of course, the Delrin isn't quite like the Delrin on, say, the Heracles, which I like a lot, where the Delrin actually goes all the way up in the drip tip. It's just kind of, on this one, it's just right here at the end. Let me show you a little something, because you'll see a lot of stuff. People say, oh, these things are a pain in the butt to feel. They're not hard to feel at all. At all. There is a such thing as gravity. Gravity works. Gravity makes things move downward. And viscosity of any liquid will cause it to flow in a certain direction. I'm right here over my computer right here, look. I mean, yeah, it's narrow in there. It's very narrow in there. But you ain't got to try and get a needle tip way down in there. You just get off here by the side and let it run into the side of the damn thing. It goes in just hunky-dory fine. This is 100% VG juice. I mean, does it go in as easy as some of the other tanks? No, of course, the wide friggin' open chambers. We got plenty of juice in there, and just so you know what juice I'm using, like most of the time, I ain't gonna say all the time, Smoke Busters Vape Shop. Shop number 3 here in Lexington, Tennessee. This is the lemon meringue mixed up to me by Miss Emily. Thanks, girl. Instead of using the coil that I got on there, here, I'm gonna get one of these coils out right here. Pretty good looking coil, ain't it? It's got the little wire mesh across the top of it. And I pulled one of these apart. I'm not going to do it again because it is a pain in the butt. Because the coil don't actually come all the way out of it. You can pull and pull and pull. It'll still stay in it because this thing's 2-piece. I'm sure you've seen it. Can't get my fingers out of the way so I can see. There it goes. Better yet, here, I'm gonna put it on this other base for you. My bad. I guess I should have tested this stuff out and done a little trial and error thing with it before I started showing you how some of this stuff works on here. You see that? Of all of them, it's the only one with true juice control or juice flow control. All the other ones claim to have juice flow control. None, I repeat, zero, zilch, none have true juice flow control. They all have their coil that goes up in the middle, and where the coil sticks up, they got this conical thing that goes around it. When I get to some of the other ones, I'll show those too. But right now, we're talking about the Delta 2. We're not talking about all the other ones, except for how they're designed. They got the coil that comes up, the little metal cuff that comes over it. And yeah, and this metal cuff has got holes in it, kind of like how my fingers are separated there. And you can turn it and adjust it to line it up with the holes that are in the coil. Well, regardless if you cover up those holes in the coil where the cotton's exposed or not, there is a gap between the coil and that little shaft that goes over the coil. So even if you close them off, juice still gets in there. There is no true juice flow control on it like on this device right here. And it really, really, really works. If you put a 50-50 blend in this thing, close that thing off to a little less than a halfway, and it will not overwick. If you leave it, if you put a 50-50 juice in there and you go to start vaping on it, you will notice there is too much juice and it will spit and sputter and puke in your mouth. That sounds kind of nasty. I don't like stuff puking in my mouth. But anyway, I got it back together. Open up these airflows. Throw this drip tip on there. And right now, here, let's give it a little vape. Let's do some wattage looking at. See what type of vapor production we get here. Well, this thing takes forever when you go one at a time here. It scrolls really fast until you get to where you want. Let's start at 27 watts. 27 watts is 3.8 volts. So it's about equivalent of having a decently charged, almost full charged mech mod. Not too shabby. Flavor's great. Vapor production's fantastic. Airflow is immense. Let's go to 28 or 29 watts. 29 watts is 4 volts equal. Great, no dry hits, no nothing. Let's just take this bad boy up to 40 watts. I don't ever vape it that high. There's no need to, as you can see. But you can if you want to. 3 or 4 good hits on 40 watts. It's fantastic. That's one of the things I do like about this thing. Yeah, people brag about, yeah, I'm doing 65, 70, 80 watts on my hair cleaves. Yeah, I got a hair cleaves. You can do 75, 80 watts. Hell, I've gone up to 150 watts on the damn thing, and it hits just fine. Do the same thing on the Arctic. Do the same thing on the new high voltage Maximus, whatever the hell that damn thing's called. That's all fine and dandy and great. But when you do that, what are you doing? The Maximus and the Heracles is right next to this damn thing. I will tell you when we get to it. I'll tell you how much I like the Heracles too. but it is a juice whore. I tell you, it's a juice whore. You'll put more juice in it than you do a dripper or an RDA, whatever the hell you want to call it. But this thing right here, it holds a little more. I think it's right at about 4 mil, if I'm not mistaken, and it'll last a long damn time. And I don't have to turn it up to 55 watts. 55 watts at 6 damn volts and drain the hell out of my batteries. So my juice lasts me. My batteries last me. The Heracles, I filled up on the way to work. Got a 45-minute drive to work. I filled up to work. I drive off to the next job site. Guess what? The tank is friggin' empty. With a Delta, that's not the case. Everybody talks about how you can't see the juice. You can't see the juice level. Well, you can't see the juice level on this camera because I didn't really, first of all, I didn't put much juice in it. Well, actually, it's full. But I have no problem whatsoever. You can see how clear this juice is. It's clear friggin' juice. And I have no problem with the line. When my juice actually finally gets out of all this crap up here and it gets down here within these chambers or these windows, it stands out like a sore damn thumb. You can see it. There's no problem with that. So all the negatives, or some of the negatives that so many people are mentioning, they are mute. They are mute. Of all the sub-ohm tanks I have tried, all together, as in a whole, the Delta 2 is my favorite. By far, my favorite. Is it the only one I use? No. But it is my favorite. My Heracles is my daily rotation, and believe it or not, the sub-tank. I still like the old sub-tank. Anyway, appreciate you checking out another one of my videos. Gary, Southern Boy Vapes, and coming up shortly, maybe the next review, I'm going to go over more in depthly of all that secret wiki material I've been talking about. Just about ready to maybe start putting in packages and selling to some of you guys, and maybe even giving away some samples for you. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments if you're interested about it, and some of the little snippets and shots I've gave it in previous videos. Anyway, once again, Gary, Southern Boys Vapes. Rednecks Vape Too.